Hello everyone. In this video session we are going to learn about preparation of phenols. So there are various methods for the preparation of phenols. So very first method we are going to start with this, that is from haloarenes. So haloarenes are those in which the benzene ring is attached to the halogen atoms. Here one of that particular example we have taken is chlorobenzene. Chlorobenzene, when it is fused with sodium hydroxide, strong alkali, at the temperature of 623 Kelvin and at the pressure of 320 atmospheres, then you are going to get that conversion of chlorobenzene into sodium phenoxide. What is it, sodium phenoxide? Here to the benzene ring there will be attachment of ONA. How we are going to get this group? Actually, when this chlorobenzene is treated with strong base NaOH, here you can easily find out H can easily combine with Cl, hence there will be removal of HCl, and ONA group will directly get attached with the aromatic benzene ring, so that you are getting that formation of sodium phenoxide. And in the very next step, this sodium phenoxide is subjected for acidification with the help of acid. Which is that acid we are taking? That is hydrogen chloride, HCl. The sodium phenoxide on treatment with acid, then we can easily guess here there will be presence of H plus and Cl minus, and here it is ONA. So actually this Na can easily combine with Cl and it will be removed off in the form of NaCl, so that H will get attached to the oxygen atom of the aromatic ring, and which results in the formation of final product, that is phenol. So this is the first method of preparation for phenol, starting from chlorobenzene. Now they ask in examination, how do you convert chlorobenzene into phenol? You are supposed to write this set of reactions and you have to name the reagents, starting reagent as well as the final product. Next, if you go for second method of preparation, which is that starting reagent, so that is from benzene sulfonic acid. But here before going for benzene sulfonic acid, we are actually starting with the benzene. How we are going to get this benzene sulfonic acid? When benzene is treated with oleum, you know that formula for oleum will be H2S2O7. It is highly concentrated fuming sulfuric acid. H2S2O7 is named as oleum. When benzene is treated with oleum, then you are going to get the attachment of SO3H group to the benzene ring, sulfonic group to the benzene ring, hence it is converted into benzene sulfonic acid. And excuse me, this benzene sulfonic acid, when made to react with sodium hydroxide, then followed by acidification, you are going to end up with the formation of the final product phenol. I think first step is clear for you, but not with respect to the second step. If they ask for conversion of benzene to phenol, if you write these two steps, it is more than sufficient. But for the sake of information, you should know this set of reactions where you can easily find what are the intermediate steps involved in the conversion of this benzene sulfonic acid into phenol. Now I have given this set of reactions below. Once you get this benzene sulfonic acid here, first it is heated with sodium hydroxide at the temperature of 573 Kelvin to 623 Kelvin. Once it is treated with sodium hydroxide, here actually there will be presence of OH here, and here there is presence of SO3H. Now once you can easily guess, this OH group can easily combine with H. So H and OH minus combines together to give what? Water. So there will be removal of water, hence there will be attachment of sodium to this SO3 group. So you are getting that resultant product, sodium benzene sulfonate. So the product is sodium benzene sulfonate. Again it is further treated with excess of sodium hydroxide. So when it is further treated with excess of sodium hydroxide, what are the reactions taking place here? Here you can find there is a presence of SO3 Na group. And here excess means I am taking actually considering two molecules of NaOH here. Now we can easily guess there will be removal of Na2SO3. Na2SO3, there will be removal of Na2SO3 group from here. So you are getting that removal of Na2SO3. Then here once you can find there will be presence of H and there will be presence of OH here. This H and OH combines together to give water, hence there will be removal of water. What is that left over here? So there will be presence of ONA group. That ONA group, there is no obstacle for this ONA group, hence it will directly get attached with this benzene ring. So it results in the formation of sodium phenoxide. Once you get this sodium phenoxide as it is given here, you are going to subject it for acidification. That is, acidification means you are using HCl here. On acidification, Na can easily combine with Cl. It will be removed off in the form of NaCl so that this hydrogen atom can get directly attached with oxygen. It results in the formation of the phenol. So if they ask for the conversion of benzene to phenol, you no need to write all these steps. You can just write these two steps. It is more than sufficient. That is how we can convert chlorobenzene into phenol and this benzene sulfonic acid into phenol. Now we can go for third method of preparation of phenol. So that is from diazonium salts. Now here in case of this diazonium salts, you can just consider there will be presence of azo group N triple bond N along with the Cl. So that is diazonium, benzene diazonium chloride is one of the example. Here it is given we are going to prepare phenols from benzene diazonium salts. But before going for this diazonium salt, now let me go for preparation of this diazonium salt itself. We can start with aniline. To the benzene ring, if there is attachment of NH2 group, it is called as what? Aniline. So once this aniline is made to react with mixture of NaNO2 and HCl. Here sodium nitrate along with HCl, it generates nitrous acid, that is HNO2. When this aniline group reacts with HNO2 along with HCl, it is helping for the formation of azo group, that is N triple bond N along with the Cl. Hence the name of product obtained here is benzene diazonium chloride. To the benzene ring there will be attachment of N2Cl. Once you get this diazonium salt, that is benzene diazonium chloride, it is further subjected for hydrolysis with a warm temperature. Then we can easily remove off this N2 group as well as Cl. Here you can find in case of water there will be presence of H plus and OH minus, and here H will be easily combining with Cl and it will be removed off in the form of HCl, and here nitrogen will also be removed in the form of molecule, and what is left over? So it is left over with OH group. That OH group will directly get attached to the aromatic ring and it results in the formation of phenol. So it is very simple. We can prepare phenol starting from aniline. First step, aniline converts into benzene diazonium chloride in the presence of mixture of sodium nitrate, NaNO2 and HCl. At what condition? The temperature is important, that is at temperature 273 Kelvin to 278 Kelvin. You are going to get the formation of benzene diazonium chloride. This on hydrolysis, you are going to get the final product, that is phenol. And next, if you go for very important method of preparation for the phenol, that is called as Cumin process. They are asked many times regarding this Cumin process. Explain the preparation of phenol by Cumin process, or they can ask explain the preparation of phenol from benzene by Cumin process. How do you convert cumin into phenol? So they can ask in any way. You had to know whatever the steps involved in this process. Here the name is Cumin process. What are the steps involved here? So we can start with the very first step. There are totally 3 steps here. So if you go for cumin, how we are going to prepare this cumin itself? In the very first step, here we can start with that compound, which is that compound, that is benzene. When benzene is treated with propene, CH3, CH, double bond CH2, it is at first position, double bond. So hence it is propene. When benzene is made to react with propene in the presence of H3PO4, phosphoric acid, and what are the important conditions here? At temperature 250 degrees Celsius and at the pressure of 225 atmosphere, then you are going to get the formation of cumene, where to the benzene ring there will be attachment of propyl group. Now you can find here there will be cleavage of double bond between the first carbon and second carbon atom. That bond will be involved in the formation of the new bond with this aromatic ring. And what happens to this? Here we can find, so here CH3 and we can go for CH3. So it results in the formation of, you can find here there is one hydrogen atom. Here that hydrogen atom will be clubbed with this carbon atom. So we are getting, instead of getting CH2, here you can find CH3. That is why here propyl group is directly get attached to this benzene ring. It is named as cumene. Cumene is nothing but that is isopropyl benzene. Cumene is nothing but isopropyl benzene. Once you get this cumene formation, we can go for the next step. What is there in the next step? We are going to convert, that is conversion of cumene into cumene hydroperoxide. We are converting cumene into cumene hydroperoxide. What is that condition required for this? Just this cumene is treated with air or the oxygen at around temperature of 130 degrees Celsius. Here we can find the carbon atom is attached to two CH3 groups and one side there will be hydrogen atom. And now we can find here between carbon and hydrogen, here two methyl groups are already written, and in between carbon and hydrogen we made this methyl group to be written here. So in between carbon and hydrogen there will be addition of two oxygen atoms, hence it is named as peroxide, that is cumene hydroperoxide. Once you get this cumene hydroperoxide, then we can go for the third step. The third step involves the conversion of cumene hydroperoxide into phenol. How we are going to do that? It is very simple. When cumene hydroperoxide is heated around 100 degrees Celsius in the presence of sulfuric acid, we are going to end up with the formation of phenol. And here we can find CH3, CO, CH3 will get separated in the form of acetone, and what is left over here? OH group, that will be directly linked to the aromatic ring and results in the formation of phenol. So this cumene process involves 3 steps. You should remember all these 3 steps. In whatever the way they can raise the question about this topic, you should be ready to write the relevant answer. The reactions are also simple. Only thing is you remember the conditions required for these steps. After learning about the preparations of alcohols and phenols, now we can go for the physical properties. So very importantly, there are 2 important physical properties that you should know, both for theory part as well as for objectives. They can raise 1 mark question in theory, even you will get multiple choice questions regarding this physical properties. Now, which is that first physical property you should know, that is regarding the boiling points. Usually the boiling points of both alcohols and phenols, they will be having higher boiling points when compared to the corresponding hydrocarbons, haloalkanes. That is mainly due to the presence of intermolecular hydrogen bonding. As I have given in the structure, so you can look into the structure. Here this is the first one, alcohol. If you take, it is the first molecule of alcohol, ROH, second molecule of alcohol, ROH, another molecule ROH, and another molecule ROH. Now If you consider the nearby molecules, they can make intermolecular hydrogen bonding, that is between oxygen atom of one molecule with the hydrogen atom of the neighboring molecule, that is called as intermolecular hydrogen bonding. So hence we can find there is a existence of intermolecular hydrogen bonding in alcohols. Similarly, if you go for phenols, even in case of phenols, as there is attachment of OH group to the aromatic ring, here you can find between the neighboring molecules of phenols, between oxygen of one molecule and hydrogen of another molecule, there will be existence of hydrogen bonding. And it is also resulting in the formation of intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Because of the presence of intermolecular hydrogen bonding, normally there will be increase in the molecular association and much increase in the forces of attraction between them. Therefore, there will be normally increase, or they will be having higher boiling points compared to the other corresponding hydrocarbons or haloalkanes. And secondly, if you go for their solubility, both alcohols as well as phenols are said to be soluble in water. How they are going to get soluble in water? They are miscible with water. That is due to the formation of the same type of hydrogen bonding with water molecule. Alcohols can form hydrogen bonding with water. Similarly, phenols can also form hydrogen bonding with water. Therefore, both are said to be soluble or miscible with water. But of course, that miscibility will get decreases with increase in the size of the either alkyl or aryl group in the phenols. So, lower members of alcohols are much soluble compared to higher members of the alcohols. And now if you compare the boiling points of different compounds, like as I told you before, the alcohols and phenols have higher boiling point than the corresponding hydrocarbons or haloalkanes. Now let us take the first example here. Here I have given that order. What that order we can represent here? Here we have used that lesser symbol. The boiling point of benzene is lesser than the C6H5Cl chlorobenzene. The boiling point of chlorobenzene is lesser than boiling point of bromobenzene. The boiling point of phenol is lesser than bromophenol. That means it is in the increasing order from starting from benzene to the phenol. That ultimately shows that phenol is having higher boiling point compared to these haloarenes and the hydrocarbon. And if you go for the second example, so methane, methyl chloride, methyl bromide and methanol or methyl alcohol. So here alcohol, methyl alcohol is having higher boiling point than these hydrocarbon as well as alkyl halide. Now it is proved. Next, if you consider, it is propane, and if you go for another functional group, here we can find dimethyl ether, then alcohol. Among hydrocarbons, ethers and alcohols which are having higher boiling points, that is alcohols are having higher boiling point. So you should know the reason for this, why alcohols are having higher boiling point when compared to hydrocarbons and ethers. It is again due to the presence of intermolecular hydrogen bonding. And if you come for boiling points of different alcohols, the boiling point of alcohols, or even if you consider phenols, they can get increase with the increase in the number of carbon atoms. If you increase in the number of carbon atoms, there will be much increase in the van der Waals forces of attraction. Hence, there will be gradual increase in the boiling points. Now, if you take one example, it is methyl alcohol, it is ethyl alcohol, it is propyl alcohol. As you move to the right hand side, there will be increase in the number of carbon atoms. As the length of the chain get increases, there will be increase in the van der Waals force of attraction between one molecule to the another molecule. Therefore, there will be rise in the boiling point as you move towards the higher molecules in the same series. Next, similar way, boiling points of alcohols, if they are compared with respect to the straight chain and branched chain, as there is increase in the branching of the carbon chain, there will be decrease in the boiling point. So, it will be in reverse order. If you consider the length of that chain will be like this. If the molecule is having lengthy chains, parent chain will be having more length, then there will be much space between these set of molecules, hence much force of intermolecular force of attraction exists between these molecules. Because of more surface area, there will be more van der Waals forces of attraction. They can bind together strongly and their boiling point will be very much higher. But in the case of branched chains, these molecules come closer together. So, it almost decreases the surface area of the molecule. If there is decrease in the surface area of the molecule, there will be much decrease in the van der Waals forces of attraction. Therefore, normally there will be decrease in the boiling point. Therefore, for the same molecular formula, if one is having straight chain, another one is having branched chain, which is having higher boiling point, straight chain will be having higher boiling point compared to the branched chain. And now we can go for that particular series of examples. Here we can find there will be presence of 4 carbon atoms here and it will be present in the straight chain. And of course, it will be having very much higher boiling point. And in the second example, it is also having same molecular formula. Number of carbon atoms will also be same here. But once you say that OH group is also present, it is also OH group, it is also alcohol, it is also alcohol. So now, once you consider that carbon atom, CH3 twice it is. So one methyl group is present as a branch. Now, because of that branch, there will be decrease in its boiling point compared to the previous one. Similarly, if you go for that, if OH group, here also same number of carbon atoms are present, but OH is present as a branch here. Therefore, it is having lesser boiling point when compared to the previous one. Now, after considering this, if you go for the last one, it is having central carbon atom is added, that is bonded to 3 alkyl groups. It is looking like tertiary butyl alcohol. Now, since it is having much branch compared to the previous cases, it is still having very lesser boiling point. That means as there is increase in the branching, there will be decrease in the boiling point. Got it? That is regarding the physical properties of alcohols and phenols.